All right, hello everybody, and welcome to the PT Footy Podcast, episode number 28. I'm your host Peter, and I'm here with Sam.
Hello, everyone. Hope you had a
Oh,
good Christmas/holiday.
yep. Uh, that wish is extended through all of us. We're waiting on Neil see if he joins up. We had some issues, but we'll see how it goes. He should hopefully join me way through. My computer's frozen again, so I've been having some issues, but we got this going. That's all that matters. Um, let's start off real quick with Sporting's game, obviously against Bolonenses. They got the W, luckily, thanks to Baz Dost. Let me just give you the starting eleven real quick. So Beto in goal. Obviously, as y'all know, Rui Patricio was injured. Gaio played on the right. Coates, Douglas, Jefferson complete the back four. William and Adrian in the midfield. Gelson, Brian Ruiz, Alan Ruiz, and Baz Dost. Sam, what did you think of the game?
It seems to be the theme of most sporting games that we didn't play very well. But like I say most of the time, that if you get 3 points, it doesn't matter how you play, just as long as you win. Like you said, Bas Dost coming in clutch in the last few minutes of the game. I thought Belenenses keeper Joel Pereira on loan from Man United is well, I say was a good keeper against us. He seemed to save every shot from Bas Dost. And on the subject of Bas Dost, I felt like he didn't have his best game against Belenenses. I've started to realise more that he can't do much with the ball. Hey, Neil. And
Hey guys.
so Bas Dost's technical ability isn't really there. And once he gets the ball too often, like he'll just lose it or like almost instantly. When Joel Campbell came on as well, I thought he made a really big impact to the team, stopped a really sloppy performance, and maybe stopped a draw or a loss. And Beto as well was a. Oh, you got a bit of echo there, Neil.
Sorry.
That's right. Beto, I thought, played a really good role filling in for Patricio. And like I said last week on the podcast, I felt bad for him because I don't think he deserves to be a backup keeper. But if Patricio leaves in January or even the summer, I can see Beto taking over with performances like he did there. But the overall performance, I felt we could have played better. But the 3 points is what matters in the end. And we managed to secure all three.
Yeah, but he doesn't hide the fact that he had a very subpar performance, right?
We've had most of our performances this year have been very poor. So to be fair, it's something that I've come to expect over this season. But just as long as we get the win, that's fine with me.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I thought the game was lackluster. There weren't many chances. Obviously, that was the free kick. That I didn't even feel like it was a free kick, but anyway, Joel saved it, hit the bar. Then Bolonenses came back with a couple of good chances they could have scored, but Batu kept Sporting in the game, and then Joe Campbell with a pass to Bas Dost. And I'm gonna credit Castaños here, by the way, before I forget, it's because of him that Bas Dost manages to score. I know that you don't rate him at all, but the truth is, the second striker helped out because a player that was supposed to be marking Bas Dost moved up to mark Castaños, which let him open, and thus was able to score the goal.
But that cross from a Joel Campbell was pinpoint to Bas Dost as well. You can't take anything away from that cross.
Yeah, no, true. I'm just saying that if
I
it
get what you mean.
wasn't Castaños, but there we go. Neil, did you watch the game? And you want to talk about this or Neil?
Hello.
Hey.
No, I didn't watch the game. I'm looking at the standings and it looks like Sporting won 1-0, and I saw that that was a net. So it's interesting turn of events going into the new year because usually
Patricia's injured. Patricia's injured.
And Semedo as well.
Betu was the goalie, right?
Yeah, because Patricio was injured.
Yeah, and so it looks like Sporting's going turn for the worse with the injuries. They're starting to creep up on them. It's just interesting how the table is right now because most years everyone's either tied for first place or Sporting's in first. That's the joke. Sporting Christmas
Okay.
champions every year, right? So
Yeah. Sam. Douglas. He came in for Ruben Smith. Not that surprising, right? Because he's been picked over Paulo Oliveira. How did you think that he did?
I thought it was a good replacement for Semedo, but to be fair, Belenenses didn't have that many attacking chances, so he didn't have much to do the whole game. I felt it was one of those games where the weaker team, no disrespect, parked the bus and held out for the draw. But Douglas, when he has come in, has proved that he can be a good backup centre back, or even maybe a first team centre back if Semedo were to leave or Coates were to leave. So I was impressed with Douglas's performance.
All right. I thought, whatever. Well, let's talk João Pereira, by the way, because he's linked to Benfica, so might as well. What did you think of his game?
I thought he was really good. The goal obviously went through his legs, but that's going to happen to a goalkeeper. It's happened to some of the best keepers in the world. But I saw João Pereira linked with Benfica because Ederson is going to Man City. Because did you see he liked all
whatever.
He followed them on Instagram and started liking the photos.
Yeah, people go crazy over that.
Whether he's ready to be for Benfica's first team goalkeeper, remember you still got Julio Cesar, who is a Champions League winner, and let's not forget.
Yeah, and he's on his last year of contract, so he could like hop in for the last 6 months of the season, but you need a backup anyway.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I don't know. Cesar, I think Cesar's done.
I think so too, but you got to give him the last 6 months if Ederson's out.
Oh, absolutely. But this João Pereira, like, I've only heard about this guy this week, so we know that he's
been playing for Belenenses, bro. He played against Benfica. Don't forget that. I talked to Kevin, and he was like, "I've never heard of this dude," and I was like, "He played against us." People forget that he played against us already. So he's been starting for Belenenses ever since. What's the name of the guy took over? The new manager, I forget his name. But basically, since that guy took over, he's been playing every single game.
I was gonna say, like, is this another one of these players that we're gonna get and we're gonna overhype, and we don't know if he's even gonna be a backup goalie? For all we know, I mean, the kid's only 20 years old. Like, who's to say he's gonna even make the main squad, right?
Of course, he's gonna make the main squad. You're not gonna bump him down, and you got André Ferreira, which is quite a decent goalie in the B team,
and UEFA Youth League goalie as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's not gonna get bumped down, never.
What I'm saying is, there's other goalies like coming through like our system that wouldn't we give them a shot over someone who's?
But the thing with Joel is that he's already got Premier League experience.
Yeah, I guess.
It's point.
Doesn't look like he played any minutes with the Man U jersey.
Obviously not.
Yeah, I mean, if it works out and Ederson goes, I mean,
everybody was like, "Oh hell, who the hell is this André Horta kid?" I was one of the few that said, "Hey, he's gonna play." Now we're just gonna loan him out and stuff, and everybody loves him. So I mean, we gotta stop being that skeptic. We gotta stop the skepticism, basically. Is that the word that I'm looking for? Over players, because we just gotta wait and see what happens.
No, I don't doubt his talent. My whole thing is like with the amount of players Benfica is always producing with the B teams and the youth teams and whatever. I just feel like I'm not denying that the team doesn't see anything in him, but I figure there'd be other goalies that would get their turn before him.
I get your point, but you've got to remember the people in the keepers in the youth league, very young. You can't see them getting into the first team straight away, especially at the age. That's why maybe there could be an understudy to Julio Cesar if Ederson leaves. It gives them a bit of time to adapt and take notes, I guess.
Yeah.
Or take inspiration. So if they were to do that, I would say if they were going to put the younger goalie to start straight away, that would be a very risky move. I don't think it would work. But your defense is very solid, so who knows?
Yeah,
Maybe Cesar becomes like Van der Sar and he plays till he's like 42 years old.
he can do that. I mean, I don't really rate him that highly, but he can do that. He can stay with Benfica as long as he wants, to be honest.
Oh, for sure.
As long as he keeps producing at a above average level, he's okay. I know. The only thing that, like, I get what you're saying, Sam, and like putting in a young goalie could be difficult, but at the same time, nobody was expecting Ederson to step up the way that he did against Sporting. So there's always that.
That is true, but he was always the second choice goalkeeper. He wasn't the youth team goalkeeper and just being plucked out randomly.
Although he did play for the youth team, but I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But honestly, like, how much is Man City rumored to pay for Ederson?
No, I didn't. There's absolutely
I
no
don't
rumors
actually see a fee.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like, it's
But
all rumors.
probably 30 million. But probably around 30 million. That's what I
So
think.
Sam, I got a
listen-
question for Sam before I move on.
Go right ahead.
So let's say Sporting was facing Dortmund, right? It wasn't Benfica. Benfica was out, whatever. Sporting's now.
They already played Dortmund, so.
Okay, but let's just say hypothetically Sporting went through this year in the Champions League. Would you sell any of your players knowing that you might have a shot at going past the round of 16? Because honestly, I get that there's big offers being offered to Lindelof and Ederson. It's a lot of money, but dude, like, if you start tinkering with the squad, I'm not saying we're gonna win the Champions League, but leave the squad alone. Like, sell all your players in the summer.
It depends on the fee, really, because obviously 45 million for Lindelof, I think it was. That's a lot of money, especially for a team in the Portuguese league. That could maybe make your squad even more powerful. Just getting rid of Lindelof and buying a quality centre back. The Ederson one is tough. If I were to say, I would say keep Ederson, but Lindelof could be on his way out. So if I was the thinker, I would sell Lindelof and keep Ederson.
There's only one player I don't want Benfica to sell. There's only one player.
Jonas.
Which player is that?
Nelson Smith.
Oh.
By far. Because there's no backup for him. No backup whatsoever for him. Sam, I know where you were going, but I was like talking like young talent, that's rumored to leave. But Abala came up with a piece, or I think it was either Ball or Hector. They came up with a piece saying that Nelson Smith would be the most expensive Portuguese player to leave Portugal. Then yeah, I take that, because that would mean at least 50 million. And with 50 million, you could definitely grab a decent young right back. So
yeah,
our rumors at the moment. So, but to put the people up to date, basically, there's rumors that Benfica might sign João Pereira in a completely different deal than the Lindelof deal, and there's rumors also that Nelson Smith could be on his way to Man United as well.
If you don't mind, to say a rumor as well, courtesy of PortugueseSoccer.com. You should follow them on Twitter for all your Portuguese news.
The William Carvalho one?
The William Carvalho one, yeah, that's what I was going to go with.
No.
They said, Sporting said they would only sell for his release clause of 45 million, with West Brom interested. And
there's nobody paying 45 million for him. No one.
I don't see why not.
It's incredible that these teams like West Brom, West Ham, they got all this money, and it's all like the crazy EPL rights, like insane.
Yeah. The thing is, though, William Carvalho, no, you can't disrespect him. You're a 2016 winner of the Taça de Portugal in 2013.
I get it, but he's not worth 45 million. He's not worth that amount of money.
If Paul Pogba is worth 100 million, then William Carvalho is worth 45.
I don't know, Sam. He's good, but I don't think he's worth the 45.
I think he might have just reached his peak like 2 years ago, and he's like only 24.
Okay, but if it was Benfica selling William Carvalho for 45 million, you would say, oh yeah, take him, worth 45 million.
Yeah,
So
no, yeah, definitely. I'd
that's
say,
what I'm going
yeah,
for as well. Obviously,
that,
I don't
yeah,
think
but
any player is really worth over 100 million like Paul Pogba. Like, it's crazy to think how we're talking about 45 million as a lot when we've seen Paul Pogba go for 100, Bale for nearly 100, Suarez as well. But 45 million is like a big money for Portuguese football, and 45 million to Sporting as well could be huge.
All right, listen up. Kevin came up with a tweet saying another rumor: Memphis Depay to Porto on loan, and I was like, "Dude, did the baller just listen to our podcast? Like, he's like,
Yeah, we said that
seriously?"
the other day.
Yeah, for Benfica, we were linking him with Benfica, and all of a sudden this comes up. He said, "I highly doubt it. I don't see it happening."
They're looking for
I-
content.
I do see it happening, to be fair. Memphis Depay doesn't get a lot of time at Manchester United. I could see maybe if
But again,
sort of like the Rojo deal, if Porto sends someone to them, they might give Depay on that for
but what?
the rest
Who?
of the season.
Like who? Like there's no rumors that anybody
Yeah.
interested, and if Benfica could get him on the Lindelof deal, they probably would get him on loan. I don't see this happening. I think it's stupid.
It's not impossible. I do see it happening to an extent. Because look, Joel Campbell to Sporting, who would have thought that would happen?
Then
Markovic
again,
to Sporting.
he wanted to go though.
Depay
Joe
wants to leave to get game time, I believe.
Yeah, but Joe Campbell was like sick of Arsene Wenger, so it wasn't that unlikely. And then Markovic, he was managed by JJ. But then Depay to Porto. I mean, because Porto got wingers. I mean, they don't really have any good ones besides Brahimi, Corona, and Otavio. But still, I find it's just weird how this popped up out of nowhere.
True.
Silly season. They
yeah.
gotta fill out newspapers, right?
Yeah, that's true. Silly season. That's why I'm not going to report everything I see. Although there's one more rumor. Seferovic again. O jogo, a bola record. Everybody's reporting that the deal is done. Some say June, others say January. What do you guys make of this? Because obviously, I think you both know him. Bundesliga player, Eintracht Frankfurt striker. What do you guys think?
I have no idea who he is.
You never heard of Seferovic, the Swiss striker? Really? You for real?
Have I?
Seferovic.
I don't recognize the name.
Just look it up real quick and then we'll talk. Go, Neil.
Okay, I'll do it.
Honestly, like Benfica has this habit now. They sign these players in January who are only coming in the next season. Probably by the time this guy arrives, we probably will be in need of a striker. Don't know what kind of shape Mitroglou and Jonas will be in. So, I mean, the Bundesliga is an incredible league. Yeah, he's not Bayern Munich or Dortmund, but again, I can't really comment on this guy, but I think he'll bring depth to the squad, and we'll see what happens. Or maybe he'll be another B team player.
No, Neil. No.
Remember that Austrian kid we signed, and he was supposed to be like the next big thing, and then
but
I don't know where he is now.
By the way, he's Austria Vienna. Option to buy. They got an option to buy on him. By the way, silly season indeed. O jogo just reported that João Pereira is on his way out to Trabzonspor.
I was actually just about to say that as well.
Yeah, what do you make of that?
I really wanted to see him finish his career at Sporting, but if we do get a decent amount of fee for him, let him go.
See. How much are they reporting? Yeah, I mean they say that because he didn't make it to the practice, that he's gonna make his way to Turkey. But what else to say? He's on the yeah, he's a free player.
That's a bad move though, because Galotto gets injured. We got no one. We have as a guy to play right back, but I don't rate as a guy. I rate João Pereira higher than as a guy.
Yeah, and this is a total. If this happens, it's a total bad deal for Sporting because he's a free player, so he signs for them. I mean, he
We
leaves.
could
he
get someone in
stays.
January as well.
He stays for another 6 months, but he's gone at the end of the year, and you get no money for him. We'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. It's just something that popped up on my timeline, and we're gonna see a lot of transfer rumors, and we're gonna see what happens.
Until we see them officially in a jersey, don't believe anything you read. I want to see the presentation where the guy signs and he's beside the president. He puts a jersey on. That's when I believe things. Like even this Lindelof deal, I don't believe it until I see him at Old Trafford putting on the jersey and hanging out with Eric Cantona, and that's it.
Especially on social media these days, there's so many Twitter accounts that always report the signings of players to random clubs. Like, especially if you follow the main clubs Twitter, like Man United, unless you get the source from there saying Paul Pogba had signed, don't quote any other unofficial transfer source, even if their name is Transfer Sources or UK Transfers. Just wait until the club announces it.
Yeah. But then I talked to like my brother-in-law and a good friend of mine. He's an Irish guy, and they're big Man U fans. And I've asked them about this, and they've never heard of Lindelof. They have no idea that Man U and Benfica are working on a trade. So I'll believe it when I see it.
It's being linked on Sky Sports News in England. Like this, the story every hour is that either the deal has progressed or the deal is stalled, blah, blah, blah. They keep changing their mind on what they're saying.
Yeah, obviously. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If he's desperate for the money, he moves. If he's not, then he stays for another 6 months.
Yeah.
I mean, also, I don't know what Sky is reporting, but one mate of mine, Man United fan, he's British as well. He messaged me, "Hey, what do you think of Semedo?" And I was like, hands off. And then he said, rumor is we're signing him and then loaning him back to you. So I don't even know what Sky is saying about that at the moment. If they said anything,
I haven't seen anything about that. I've seen on Twitter like them unofficial transfer sites reporting it, but the main one is Lindelof, and also I haven't heard anything about Ederson as well. So
that just popped up out of nowhere.
Yeah,
that's crazy. So if Ederson, Semedo, and Lindelof go, Benfica could potentially make 120 million off like 3 players. That's like crazy. That's like you could buy all the Portuguese teams, I think, at that point.
Nah, that's a crazy amount of money. You can't say no to that.
No, but it's just I don't know. Like our goalie without Ederson, it's gonna be hard.
Yeah, no.
Keeping the top position in the league.
I say. I know that we said trust Julio Cesar for 6 months, but if you can get like somebody in January, pick him up ASAP, because he just doesn't give me much confidence going out for crosses, basically like Casillas, and on free kicks as much. So,
but also
if I were you, I would stick with Cesar
for 6 more months.
Yeah, and if he plays well, renew his contract. If not, let him go.
All right, that's fair enough. We just need somebody to stabilize that back four. Would be a good idea because he's 37, and if you move your right back and then you got to back into the side, it's gonna take him a while to get back into form.
You know who we should sign?
Who?
Moreira. I missed Moreira when he was playing the other day with the studio. I was crying almost.
Everybody likes Moreira. Poor kid. This podcast like a completely like random topics whatsoever. I got nothing in front of me, so it's basically talk whatever. But I did say we're gonna talk about Sporting's presidency, so we might go there and then we'll see what happens after that. All right. So as you all know, candidates are popping up everywhere. Bruno Carvalho hasn't said that he's going to apply for presidency again. But one man has applied himself to become Sporting's president. I think his name is like Madeira something. I'm just quickly.
Pedro Madeira Rodrigues.
There we go, Madeira Rodrigues. Thank you very much. He made a couple of statements that I thought were interesting to discuss. Let me just quickly go over them real quick. Asked about JJ and his salary, and he said that it just depends if you're winning or not. But then again, if he becomes president, he's not going to throw anybody away if they're helping out the team. Let's see what else he brought up. He also said that his final decision to apply for presidency was when Benfica lost to Marítimo, and that Bruno Carvalho has been a synonym of titles for Benfica. You care to comment on that, Sam, on everything?
I've said it before that we're much better off with Bruno de Carvalho that we were a couple of seasons ago when we weren't qualifying for Europe, when we were in debt by a lot. Bruno de Carvalho took over, and now we're challenging for titles. We've won a title since he took over. So, it's hard to say what this new guy would be like, because I'm not sure about you two have ever heard of him. But I from experience have not. But I haven't heard of Bruno de Carvalho before he took over as well. So who knows? If this guy might take over and might be one of the best presidents in our history, he might flop. I just want to see what they both say before I make an official judgment.
Mm-hmm.
So has Sporting declared that there's going to be an election? Is that why this guy has decided
No,
that he
every
wants to run
4
for president?
years there's elections, dude. Like every 4 years.
But is it an election time right now?
Yeah, they're basically, what do you call it? The run up to the elections, basically.
Okay.
The elections are like mid next year, right? Like April, May, whatever it is. I saw it somewhere. I don't know where.
Honestly, I want to speak as like a non-Benfica fan, and I was watching some of the interviews with him and Carvalho, and basically, yeah, everyone sounds good when they're running for president, and I don't know the politics of Sporting. I do know that Bruno de Carvalho talks a lot, and he often gets himself into trouble with the media, with the referees, with the Portuguese Federation. However, yeah, like Sam was saying, he's done a lot of good for that club. He's made a lot of good deals. The team now, you can't make fun of them because they got the best, arguably some would say he's the best coach in Portugal, Jorge Jesus, and they're still producing good young talent. They're buying good players. We'll see what happens. I don't know what's missing for you guys to be successful, because it's been so long, and I know Benfica went through that as well. 14, 15 years without a championship. At this rate, it's going to come sooner than later.
The problem I think we have was last year we were so close to winning that title. So close, 2 points. And then we got rid of Slimani, who was arguably our best player in that whole campaign. João Mario, who sort of pulled the strings. Those are two of the best players that we had the last campaign, and they both went. So we have to try and rebuild it again. And it's obviously taken a lot longer than it should have because we haven't bought the right players. Jose Martin's been a good fill-in for João Mario at right mid, but the striker position is something we have lacked this season.
Yeah, that's true. I want to point out that I think that Bruno Carvalho is not going to win the elections. And real quick, let me tell you why. Unless all the other candidates are just downright terrible, he's not going to win it because he's divided Sporting a lot. And a lot of the older guys don't agree with his methods and what he's doing. So...
But also, too, Peter, we said on this podcast that no team in the history of Portugal has gone back to win the league being down 8 points. So, sorry, Carvalho, it's not your year.
Anything could happen.
Yeah, but the only thing that's putting me on the back foot against this guy is that he said, and I'm quoting him, in terms of results, Sporting has been below expectations, but with me, it's gonna be different. We're gonna win. And isn't that the exact same type of Bruno Carvalho's pitch? Like,
Yeah, but you have
We're
to
go-
say that. Otherwise, why would they elect you as president? You can't be like, under
but
us, we're going to lose. Because it just
again,
wouldn't make sense.
You got to give people hope.
Exactly.
yeah, I mean, though he has some interesting points where he says that I'm going to put the Formação Sporting basically always in front, and I'll bet on the modalidades that Cristiano is always talking about of Sporting. Basically said that when he was asked about a project, he said we're gonna have time to discuss this. About the JJ bit, when I was talking, he said that he's Sporting's manager. We're going to have the elections during the season, and everything, and I will do everything to not shake up the career of the club. Basically, JJ is a good manager. He's got contract with Sporting, and I believe that we can win trophies this year. That's what he said, basically, from his first real actual statement. A couple more things, but
What trophies can they win?
Taça da Liga, campeonato.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm, but yeah, basically that's everything he's talked about. Like I said, the Bruno Carvalho has been a synonym to titles for rivals. He said that basically they're gonna win with him, and that he's not going to change things up during the season.
The thing, if you don't mind me interrupting,
yeah.
was the thing I would like about the Carvalho is that a lot of people don't like it about him, but he's hands-on. He's on the bench and he
I don't
supports
like
the
that.
team. I know you don't like that, but as a fan,
Do you
it's
like
great
that?
that
Do you even
see.
like that?
I do. I see that
don't.
my president actually cares. Because
Okay.
you look in England, some of the presidents, are just there. They just take over.
It's completely
They just
different.
sit in the back. I disagree. That is one of the best things about him.
England's absolutely different because you're owned. You're not even really have a real presence. You're just owned. You just buy a goddamn team, which
I'm
but
totally
it's
but
not the
honestly,
same, though.
a president shouldn't be on the bench like a fanboy jumping up and down with the coach. A president represents the club. They should be in the stands, setting an example. Like,
Yeah,
the
but
guy
it
looks
shows
like
that he cares, though. That is the
It's
thing.
not the point. He can care and not be on the bench. I don't. I think that him being on the bench, JJ loses.
He gets distracted.
No, that's not even what I want to say. Is that he loses
Under pressure, maybe.
No, it's not the pressure. Hold up, guys. Give me a moment. He loses his leadership. There you go. If you're a player and you see your president and you see your coach on the bench, who are you going to listen up to?
Hopefully they listen to the manager.
There you go. There's a question. You said hopefully. That's what you hope for.
That is a good point. I did not think of that.
There you go.
But not just that. That's sort of like his boss. And then it's like, while he's working, his boss is like side by side, like attached him by the hip, like breathing down his neck. Like,
yeah.
If he makes that one bad mistake, like the guy's on edge the whole game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. By the way, Kevin says a very good point. He said if Bruno Carvalho doesn't win, what we will do with his career, I think he'll open up a smoke shop, sell vape machines. So, there you go. Sorry, just lighten up the mood. But all right, Bruno Carvalho was elected when? Does anybody know? Can anybody tell me what year he was elected? I think it was 2011.
I was going to say 2011.
2011, 2012, right? It was one of those.
Yeah.
So if somebody could just let me know. Can you look it up real quick? Can you look it up real quick, please? Because let's say he had Leonardo.
I'm looking it up, sorry.
All right, you look it up. Leonardo Jardim, Mark Silva, JJ again, right? So that's 4 years. I think it's 2012, but look it up real quick, if you don't mind. Then we'll look at its ups and downs, and I'm going to start, and then I'll let you take over, Sam, because I do want to point out, basically what Sergio already said earlier today on Twitter.
Yeah.
But that's basically my whole point. just waiting.
Speaking of Sergio, by the way, congratulations go out to him becoming
Oh
a dad.
yeah, that's right. That's
You're
right.
go-
I never
he's gonna
congratulated
be
you.
a great dad.
I have
Yeah.
one more. I have one more friend now that I could buy drinks at the Casa de Benfica with. So Sergio and his kid. Carvalho took over the 2012-13 season.
All right, so let's rethink this. All right, so start off. They signed with Argentine. They signed a couple decent young players, and then they signed, and then they didn't win the season. They didn't win anything that season. They finished third place, I believe. Correct or
Third
second?
Second.
Second,
I think it was.
I've
With Jardim, I think it was second because then he
yeah,
left
no,
the
yeah, with
season
Narjardin
after.
second, and then third with Mark Silva. So second with Narjardin. For some reason, he leaves. I don't
Money.
really understand that.
Money to Monaco.
I'm not sure if Bruno Carvalho had something to do with that. Maybe he did, because there was talks, the rumors that he wasn't happy with Leonardo Jardim. All right, so keep that open.
I like
keep that
Leonardo
option.
Jardim. He brought in William Carvalho, Joel Mario, and Adrian all into prominent roles in the sides. So I know that's not what happened, but
there you go. Good.
Was he let go because Jardim was like screwing around with someone's wife?
His wife, yeah, supposedly with his wife.
Only at the Sporting club.
Yeah, that's just rumors though. But brought in good young players, like you said, William Carvalho, Adrian Silva came back, Romario. Even brought up a couple other players, Slimani.
Yeah, true.
Montero.
And also with the Bruno de Carvalho as well, he was one of the key factors, in Nani coming back to Sporting, which I think was one of the best signings we've ever made.
Yeah, but that was next season.
Next season with Marco Silva, yeah.
All right, so Slimani, Montero, Adrian Silva, William Carvalho, João Mário.
Yeah.
And then second year, Mark Silva.
I was going to say, is Paulo Oliveira one of those as well? Because I remember he was a
Mark
prominent...
Silva. He's a Mark Silva guy, I think. Okay. I think, I might be wrong, but I think he's a Mark Silva signing.
Okay.
Next year, Mark Silva, Jefferson, was crucial that year.
Yeah.
Let's say Paulo Oliveira. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll go with Paulo Oliveira. And I'm not really sure if they signed anybody else.
Nani on
loan. All right.
Our key player that season.
Yeah, you finished third, but you win the Taça. And
despite being a man down.
Yeah. And despite losing 2-0, like halftime or something like that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So in 2 years, you win a title, you reduce debt, and you get a buttload of good players. Slimani cost you like 300,000. You recalled William Carvalho, recalled Adrian Silva, recalled João Mário. You signed Montero also for quite cheap. You signed Jefferson for cheap, and you signed Paulo Oliveira for cheap. So those are very good, players for critical or crucial positions.
Yeah.
And then Mark Silva leaves. God knows why. In my opinion, I still think that's a terrible decision in hindsight.
Maybe he was screwing around with someone's wife too. Seems like a trend.
Yeah. And then this is why I think Bruno Carvalho was doing perfect. See, those are my points, because he signed young players or recalled young players, signed other young players, and signed two good coaches for good money, and then sold one for good money, and then released the other one.
I know you say that. You said in hindsight it was a bad decision. But at that time, you have a manager, George Jesus, who's won 4 or 5 titles.
I still think that 6 million is a lot.
Do you pass up that decision?
6 million is a lot of money.
I'm just saying, at that time and place, it sounded like a good decision to me. And I think maybe to most Sportingistas, it was a bad decision because obviously he's linked with Benfica. Obviously, he wore the 35 on his face in paint.
33, 34, 35, mate.
He talked bad about Sporting all the time, you know.
Yeah.
So obviously, I know a lot of Sporting fans were.
My
I
friend
honestly
wasn't
thought
happy. One of my friends wasn't
when he
happy.
signed, I thought he was just gonna like what's the word? Demolish, I guess, the whole club. And then when he gets sacked, just like pull out the Benfica jersey and start celebrating with Benfica fans.
Oh god.
At the time, it was smart of you guys to sign him. He was the best coach in Portugal. Yes, he cost
That's
a
my
lot of
point.
money.
Yeah.
But for the domestic league, he did his job with Benfica, and it makes sense why Sporting wanted to sign him. I agree.
By the way, I forgot European seasons, both under Mark Silva and with Argentine, weren't that successful. I don't remember if Sporting had European competitions with Argentine. To be honest with you, I don't think so.
I don't think so. No.
And then with Mark Silva, they went out on the group stage of the Champions League. Though, you know, that mistake against Schalke, but then again, they did have that terrible game against Maribor where Mauricio just offered Salvik a goal. So it's a little bit even. I don't remember when you went out in Europe.
We went straight in around 16 to, was it Wolfsburg? Or was that the season before?
Yeah,
or the season
maybe.
after?
Yeah, no, maybe.
I think it was Wolfsburg.
Yeah, maybe. So not the greatest of European seasons, but then again, you won a title. Then you signed JJ, which cost you a buttload of money. Okay, people say he's worth it. Neil was saying he's worth it at the time. Okay, I might agree with you guys. And then the signings come in. You spend a buttload of money on players that are old. Brian Ruiz was a great signing at the time.
I agree.
Then again, who else? Help me out, because I literally can't remember.
What year is this?
The first season.
Last year.
So Zegler, Bruno Cesar, them two as well. I'm trying to
that's
think.
good. Those were good.
Azbayag, but I know he didn't play very much.
No, I think he's trash, actually. I don't really rate him that high.
He was awful in preseason.
Yeah. And you ended up signing Schelotto in January.
Yep, I forgot about him. Good point.
But then you did buy Naldo, which I thought was good, but then
we bought that Chiani guy as well, who we sold straight after we bought him because he didn't get on with JJ. So Naldo
by the way,
Chiani.
I forgot to mention Shikabala, but Shikabala's just a whole completely different.
What happened to that guy?
Overrated.
I don't know.
I remember Benfica playing Sporting last year, and the commentators, I don't know if it was Seek or like one of the Portuguese channels, the Egyptian Benfica killer, Shikabala.
That guy was like from United this time, bro. Or was it I don't even know.
I don't think that guy even touched the ball.
Nah.
I remember when my dad told me he signed, he was like, Shikabala is a really good player. I saw him play. He was like one of the worst players I've ever seen wear the Sporting shirt.
He was incredibly overrated.
Yeah, exactly.
Or maybe he was good, but he just doesn't have any head. But sorry, that was completely off topic. I just remembered him because he was the biggest busts in the last couple of years. So that's why I brought him up. But
I was going to say with the JJ selling as well. I know. So Gianni was one he sold when he got in. Is there any other that he sold when he first got into Sporting? Literally off the top of my head, I can't remember.
Not anything.
Anyone? What was that this year?
No, that was this year, and he was a free transfer.
That was this year. Oh yeah, Wilson Eduardo? Was that him?
No, I think Wilson Eduardo was like gone a while ago. I think maybe it was Mark Silva's year, maybe. In Argentina. Eldon was loaned out, but Eldon is not really that great. Nothing major. So they kept
Teo Gutierrez. We signed Teo Gutierrez.
I guess that was a
Barcos
good signing
as well.
Where's Cesar Melli?
Marcel Melli. I think they want to sign him for like real, but I don't. He's barely played. He played like what? Like
he plays in the B team, I believe.
I remember he was linked with Benfica for so long.
Yeah, but it was because JJ as well. So there you go.
There we go.
Yeah, but this is this season though. What's stock last season? So last season, they sold a couple guys, signed a couple guys. There wasn't really any big shift when it comes to money, really, maybe Brian Ruiz was one of the biggest earners. But then again, you did have Nani last year, so that was basically evens it out. You signed a couple.
I believe we didn't pay
players.
for Nani though. Man United paid everything for Nani, and
I
then
don't. That's weird. If that really did happen,
because it was the swap deal for Rojo, so they gave us Nani on loan. But they knew we couldn't afford his wages. So I'm not sure if they paid it all or they paid
they
some.
probably played a major sum, but I don't think
Yeah.
that a team will just pay 100% of a player's salary to play for another side. You know,
This was David Moyes at United, so it probably was the case.
But then again, Brian Ruiz was probably one of the biggest earners at the time. Slimani probably got a raise, but not really that much of a big one. They sold Montero, which is probably one of the worst decisions they made. And
I agree with
they
you there.
signed Teo, they signed Barcos, they signed Donaldo, which then they sold. They signed Ziegler, and they signed Schelotto. Basically, that's about it.
I've just thought of another player as well.
What?
I think his name was Everton or Everton.
Oh yeah,
the centre
Everton.
back.
Which they
JJ
signed and then they sold as well. Yeah, he was one of those that came and went, but they didn't lose that much money with him. So that's all right. His first year was basically a bust when it comes to results. They didn't lose a lot of money with the signings. I guess Brian Ruiz was probably one of the highest earners, but then again,
I don't think it was the worst season. I don't really blame JJ either because 2 points. I don't really blame anyone. It was just. I guess you could blame the team, just a lack of.
And when you drop,
not passion,
you drop 7 points. When you're first, you drop 7 points. You gotta blame someone. And they only dropped 3 to Benfica.
We only lost the title by 2 though, so in the end, it wasn't a major bust
7
from
points.
JJ.
You dropped points with União da Madeira. And
that was
other
away.
clubs.
To be fair, that was the thing that wrecked our season for me. Away at Madeira, obviously it's not the most easiest fixture, but we still should have won.
Mm-hmm.
So and then the match against Benfica as well. I think we should have won that.
Yeah, but Benfica outplayed you in the strategy and managed to pick up the win. So I mean, but that one you can't even blame him because it's one game and Benfica just came away with it.
Yeah, anything could happen in that game.
Exactly.
Although Brian Ruiz missing that open goal.
Obviously, but then again, you lost a lot of points to minor clubs. You dropped 2 points against Tondela that almost beat you at home, you know. And other games I can't remember, you know, obviously all of them, but Tondela at home, Vista ways, and also the hardest of teams.
But Tondela, I remember last year, like all the big three struggled with them.
We only beat them on penalties.
Didn't we tie Tondela?
No, we beat them like 4-1, 4-0, stuff like that. We just smashed them completely. Go ahead, Sam.
Say that again.
Sorry, Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I cut you off. Sorry.
Okay.
Cut you off.
I was pretty much finished what I'd say anyway.
Okay, so we're gonna sum up the JJ's first year. Basically, didn't win the title. You didn't lose out on money all that much. You brought in Brian Ruiz, and you basically lost Montero. Basically, the biggest up and down of that year. Obviously, it sucked that you failed to qualify for the Champions League, and then you went out against Bayer Leverkusen in the Europa League round of 32, I think. And then you didn't win the Taça, and you didn't win the Taça da Liga. But the Taça da Liga is not really a major competition. Then
it's all silverware. It all counts.
Yeah, I was about to say a title's a title.
And then this year,
hold up before you start. Also, that JJ who took control of Sporting for the Super Taça? We beat you.
Yeah. That I completely forgot about that. I am sorry. Yeah,
I forgot that too.
And also one of the biggest things that happened was also the Carrillo thing, which I also wanted to point out. Which is absolutely not JJ's fault. Dude might be an asshole.
BDC.
Yeah. But he sticks with his players, and he even said it during like a press conference that if it was him, Carrillo would be playing.
Yeah, I remember
So-
that. Yeah.
So I'm not going to blame JJ on that, but we'll blame that on Bruno Carvalho, which I think that he was a big mistake. It might not do anything with Benfica, but imagine that he gives us like 30 million. How the hell
True.
is Bruno Carvalho going to feel? You know, I think it's going to be a bad deal for them, even if he doesn't succeed at Benfica. So
Yeah.
that's going to be a thorn on his side, definitely. I think the biggest issues, though, they come in this year because you signed Alan Ruiz for 10 million. How the hell is that kid worth 10 million?
Oh,
And,
I don't know.
and Petrovic cost you 3 million, which I'm still trying to figure out how the hell he cost you 3 million. Where he didn't even start for like Dynamo Kiev. What you
Has
signed?
he played a league game yet? This Petrovic guy?
No.
Yeah, I believe he's come on as a sub.
Maybe
at a
once,
point.
I guess.
Yeah.
You signed Castaños, that cost you about 3 million or like 2
Jesus.
million, something like that. It cost you a ridiculous amount of money as well.
I'm
Bas
not even worth
Dost,
£2, €2.
Bas Dost, 10 million.
But he's been producing.
He's been good. He's been good, but 10 million, that's all right. That's all right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Any other? Come on, the other striker. Andre.
Spalvis?
Oh yeah,
Spalvis as well, but
too.
Spalvis was cheap. Spalvis was under $1 million, so that's.
But he hasn't played yet either.
But
'Cause he's injured.
He got injured for 6 months. He got like
He's back in training now, I believe. Also.
Mateus
interior
Pereira?
cruciate. No, doesn't matter. He was Sporting Academy.
Okay.
Yeah. And Andre cost you about like 2 million as well.
Yeah.
Those and let's not even talk about Marcel Melli, which I think that you're paying all of his wages, no matter why he's not playing for no reason. Those are all. Maybe let's cut out the Paz Dos deal, which was a good one. All the other ones were a big waste of money. And let me point out the João Mário sale and the Slimani sale. Before people think that I forget about that, not every penny goes into Sporting's pocket.
Yeah.
They had debt, which, it was a big one as well. Most of the money went to cut down on that debt. So that's why I think that people forget. Like, they go like, oh, they made like 45 million of João Mário and like 30 million of I can't remember how much Slimani cost, but
30, I think. Yeah, you're right.
like what, 80 million, basically 80 million, 85 million. Not like if they got like 15 million out of that, that's a lot. Even if they got that much money. So
And plus, at the end
Yeah.
of the transfer window, there was the Adrian Silva to Leicester rumour as well. Apparently blocked by Bruno de Carvalho.
Carvalho, yeah.
Yeah, so
Which
Unbelievable.
also doesn't fare well for him.
that apparently he's got like a retirement clause in his contract. I saw a bit messy. No one knows the full details of it. But apparently the rumour was that he agreed to play until he retires.
Uh-huh. All right. So one thing that people I understand Adrian Silva is playing up to his potential, but it's
Yeah.
still some people might be annoyed for the fact that I don't know, I guess Sporting issues really aren't, but when you block a move, it always sucks for the player.
Yeah, but the thing is, without Adrian this season, I don't think we would be
No, like I
top
think
five.
I think he did a good job. I think that he should have said, listen, Adrian, if a good offer comes in for both the club and you will accept it. He should have never said that, because as soon as he said that, unless you come in with good money and an offer that he wants, he's free to leave, you know?
Any time in the transfer window, it would have happened, but just not on the deadline day. And that's why I think it was blocked, honestly,
Okay.
because we didn't have time to bring in a beneficial replacement for us.
Okay. But basically, my point of view is that Bruno Carvalho had 2 good years, and then the other 2 years were basically focused on a big loss of money. Yes, they did have very good outcome from sales, but not like not even like 60-70% of the money was used for transfers. If like 15% were used for transfers, that's very good. I think that he did a good job reducing the debt for 2 years, and then he brought up the debt again for no reason in the next 2 years. So it's 50-50. That he went against Benfica and against Sporting fans as well, like putting them on court and all that, against them a lot. That's why I think he might not win the elections. But Sam,
Yeah, because I know my dad thinks he's not a clown. That's the way. I'm just gonna go clown.
is a dick.
There you go.
There you go.
He's a bully. He's a bit of a bully.
But I
Sam
saw
and
him
you,
the
I'll
other
let you.
day.
I'll let
He
you
looked,
both take over though, because I already said everything I wanted to talk about.
Yeah. So with the fans, like you said, he took them to court. But not yesterday, the game against Belenenses. After the game, he went to the sporting section and took selfies with the sporting fans. He gave them autographs when they asked. So I think he's trying now. I think that he knows he's in trouble for the election.
He knows. He basically, yeah, that's what I was gonna tell you.
Yeah.
He knows he's
So
fucked up.
trying to get the fan support. But honestly, I am happy with a president who brings value to the club and will move the club forward. I don't care if that's BDC. I don't care if it's the new guy. I don't care if it's anyone else. Just as long as the team and the club moves forward, that is fine with me. I'm not interested in, I'm going to make us a fortune. I'm going to make us this. To be honest, I just want titles. As a fan, titles and success is what every fan wants for their team. So if there's a president that brings us success, then I'm all for it.
Okay, was his presidency successful?
It's a hard one to say.
Yeah,
Because
it
I'm sort of
is.
thinking,
That
like you said,
sounds-
the first 2 years, you could maybe even consider the third one a decent year for Bruno de
Yeah.
Carvalho.
I'll even.
But
I'll
right
even throw
now,
that out.
you can't say that it's been a good year. So I think I'll judge on his presidency
Okay,
after
hold
the
up.
election.
If
The team's in a better place now than they were 5-10 years ago.
That is a good point.
that is
That is a very good
true.
point.
That is true. But it still pisses me off. And I'm not a sporting fan. If I was a sporting fan, I don't know how it'd be, because it pisses me off that you're doing such a good job, and I praise them because he was doing such a good job reducing the debt and making the team competitive, finishing second and third, winning a Taça Portugal, and then just throwing it
And the
all out
Super
for
Cup.
JJ. No, not the Super Cup, because that's Super Cup coming with JJ. I was talking before that. I just think that at the time it was maybe the right deal, but then you re-sign him for more seasons when he hasn't even won a trophy and he's earning $6 million a year. It's a buttload of money for a coach that isn't winning, and in Portugal.
I'm going to change my answer here. Neil came up with a really good point, and I'd say his presidency has been successful because he has. I remember when the team wasn't qualifying for Europe, we were in massive debt. Not that we still aren't in debt, but he has made this club more competitive. He has made Sporting a worldwide sort of known club.
Listen though, Sam. Did he need JJ to make Sporting even more competitive?
At the time, yeah.
No. You think you come after a winning season, get a Taça Portugal with a young manager and a young team. Do you really need JJ to stay competitive?
If you have the best manager in Portugal, you can sign him. Yes or no, would you? Of course. Anyone would say yes.
It's true. Honestly, like, credit to Marco Silva and Jardim and all those guys. But at the time, JJ was the best coach in Portugal. The opportunity came, they capitalized on it. And the thing is, like, yeah, Sporting hasn't won a title in a while. You know what? You bring in a mouthpiece like Jorge Jesus. Okay, he didn't win last year. They're 8 points behind. It's hard to say whether they'll win it this year.
It's unlikely.
But you keep that guy on for a few years. I hate to say it because I want Benfica to win every year, but eventually he's gonna figure it out, and he's gonna make Sporting successful.
He needs the structura. He doesn't have the structura in Sporting. He's never gonna have one with Bruno Carvalho. You need to focus inside, you need to focus Sporting first on your opponents. Bruno Carvalho is focusing on his opponents first instead of focusing on himself first. JJ is never going to have the consistency and the backup that he had at Benfica. And
if he wins the League Cup, I'll be happy for this. I won't be overly happy. A title.
It won't be a successful season, but it won't be a successful season. It can't be.
But in trophy terms, yeah.
But it can't be a successful season.
Where I would be annoyed, like Sam, there was no reason why Sporting couldn't have gone to at least the Europa League. Like, okay, I know people don't take the Europa League serious. You know what? In Portugal, guess what? We're not gonna win Champions League. Will we win Europa League?
Yeah.
We have better chance winning Europa League than Champions League.
True.
And it's not a lot of money, but it's a title, which is what you guys want.
Then again, Sam was also mad that they didn't qualify. He wanted to qualify to the Europa League.
Yeah, I did. I know Alex didn't because he wanted to focus on the league. But to
then
me,
again, what has that helped you? It hasn't helped you at all.
It hasn't.
Going from Alex's point of view, so.
But if we're going by now, if Sporting not lost to Warsaw, we would have gone against Ajax, and that is a team we can beat in the round of 16.
Definitely around 32, by the way. I think, right? Because
round of 32.
Yeah,
round of 32.
Yeah.
There you go. Sorry.
30 to round 16. You still get.
Sam?
Advancing to this overly.
Hold up, Sam.
You know what I said before. I really want to see Sporting. So sorry for interrupting. Go on.
No, you just.
We thought we were going to lose you.
You lagged out. Yeah, you lagged out completely. So you got to go back to the Ajax thing.
Okay, so Ajax. So we could have beaten Ajax. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
We went on to the round of 32, and we qualified. We go on to the round of 16, which we get prize money for. So we get prize money for going to the round 16. Depending on who we draw,
you probably make it through.
Probably. Maybe, but still, round of 16. If we make it to quarterfinals, that's fine. But so that was the reason I said I really wanted to see Sporting in the Europa League, and also like I said, see them play in England.
Mm-hmm. Sam?
Yeah. In Southampton, in the end. Am I lagging out?
Yeah, you lagged out again, but I got it.
Okay.
You wanted to play a team in England, so you could watch them. Basically, that was what you wanted to say. Listen, Kyle's got a question for you. Oh, and he dropped out.
Uh-oh.
That was likely. That was likely to happen. It looked like it. Neil.
What's up?
Okay, he's back.
Okay. Hopefully that will fix it.
Oh, okay. I thought you lagged out.
No.
Listen, Kyle asked you a question. The voucher's been for Benfica.
Do I have to answer that question?
Of course not. You can just say no. Nothing? Like, not at all?
No. Okay. It's like the question I sent to both of you in the chat, which my dad asked the question.
I'll bring it up.
Okay.
Neil, let's say that you win the title with a Maicon offside goal. Do you feel happy that you won the title that way?
If I'm Benfica?
No. Well, doing the opposite. Basically, you're a Porto fan and you win the title because of that play.
No, I wouldn't be happy. I mean, mind you, I was celebrating when the first year Carlos Martins joined Benfica, and we totally robbed them in the Taça da Liga, and we went to penalty kicks and we won. I don't know. It's just you want your team to win. At the end of the year, you want to look back and be like, the best team won, right? So if you're getting help from referees or hidden handshakes or whatever the case may be, you lose a little bit of integrity for your club that you're representing.
So let's say they're referee mistakes, but they're simply mistakes. There's no type of corruption involved. You're happy winning the title anyway, right? I mean, feel say that you got benefited on a random play that gives you 3 points, and at the end of the year you win the title by 3 points. But it was a simple mistake. How would you feel? Would you celebrate the title the same way?
I think so, because I mean, like, unfortunately, the Portuguese league is not in a position where there's goal line technology. So there's a lot of stuff, like, as fans, like, we're watching every week, and we notice that the referees miss out on stuff.
Yeah.
That became
To carry
loud.
on from Neil.
Yeah.
So for another club, obviously, if I was a Benfica fan and Benfica won with the corrupt referees, obviously, I would say, even if I was a Sporting fan, we won with corrupt referees. Obviously, that does tarnish the title.
No,
On a
but
mistake.
yeah, but I was talking honest mistakes. Obviously, we're not talking about the corruption. Let's
Okay,
put that
honest
out.
mistake. A win's a win. So if
Yeah.
the ref doesn't see it, refs can't see everything. Fair enough. If you win the title, you win the title. It doesn't matter if it's from a mistake, if it's from a penalty, if it's from an open play. You've won. So
Yeah. Then
I would be
again,
happy.
I'll point that out. I prefer seasons over playoffs. If at the end of the season you're first, you did something right.
Yeah.
But that's why I can't stand some of those shows like Trio Attack and like all those shows, because basically all they do is they go back and they nitpick every little play that happened. Like, you can't, like, referees are human. They're not gonna catch everything. Unless we install like goal line technology or we add more referees, like, mistakes are gonna be made, like, human error.
Especially when they're bad.
Oh, for sure.
And I think that's like the biggest thing in Portuguese football is that we don't have good referees. It's not Benfica's fault. It's not Porto's fault. And it's not Sporting's fault. It's nobody's fault. It's just bad. Mistakes happen. Like Kevin was saying, oh, it certainly feels like there's an agenda against Porto. I'm like, sorry, mate. Benfica has about like 4 penalties not called in 2 games. It just
Sorry,
happens.
Kevin. Just the reality is, but Benfica is better than Porto the last few years. That's a reality.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that answers to that question. If it's honest mistakes, I don't think anybody gotta be pissed off at that. If it proves to be corruption, I would certainly be upset. Neil, Kyle asked me a question, and I'll ask you too. What are your thoughts on Carrillo at this point of the season? Is he a flop?
I don't think he's a flop. I think Carrillo hasn't really had much game time. I think he does his job, and that is he was a player we signed. He knew joining the club that that there was a pecking order, and he wasn't gonna necessarily start every game. But with the January transfer window coming along, and still almost 6 months of footy to play, injuries happen, and as long as he's ready to perform and he's looking for that opportunity, I think it will come. I don't think he has any resentment what his role is. I think his opportunity is going to come.
Mm-hmm. By the way, Sam, Record are also reporting now that João Pereira is going to join Trabzonspor in January.
It's official?
I'm just saying that Record are also reporting it now as well. So one more source.
Hopefully not.
Until we see the jersey, we'll believe it then.
Of course. I'm just saying that the more, listen, if it's like one newspaper reporting it, I don't really care much about it. But when in a short period of time, every single one of them starts to report it, I start to believe that there's something in it.
Yeah,
but last year as well, a lot of the newspapers are reporting that Gaetan was going to Man United, Sanchez was going to Man United. Well, not Sanchez was going to Man United, and they never did happen. So
Gaetan was going to Man United.
Yeah,
since
but
2010.
that was Jesus Christ. Yeah, that was been going on for too long. Um, but it is what it is. I mean, it's gonna be silly season, like Neil said. A lot of things are gonna pop up, but that's just pointed out. Oh god, I love Twitter. Sorry guys.
Have you guys
it's
seen
yeah.
Johnny Agent on Twitter?
Oh god, no. Just no.
I
That
haven't, but
no.
Peter
That's
was telling me
bull.
about him earlier.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure Johnny Agent
It's
is
like one of Sergio's friend or whatever it is.
yeah, it's someone that me and Sergio know at the Benfica house, and
Yeah,
basically
it is.
he just makes random stuff up.
Yeah. It can't even write radar correctly, by the way. He wrote it Rader.
Oh.
Raider, and I was like, okay. What I'll say is that I found funny is that popped up a clipping of a ball of George saying that I'm in love with Benfica. I thought that was quite funny. Sorry about that, guys. But Jesus Christ, this podcast has been a good one. I've been talking. I mean, it's been completely like off topic, by the way. It's random stuff that we talked
If you
about.
don't mind, Peter, as well.
Go right ahead.
So Sergio asked us all the question: the best / worst
Oh yeah, thanks for
signings
popping that out.
of each teams in the big three.
Did he ask for each? Jesus Christ, I'm screwed.
I believe he said, but I'll just start off for you easy. Benfica, best and worst.
Best signing 2016, by the way, only during
Yeah,
the year
2016. Sorry, yeah.
2016. I think the best
Grimaldo,
signing is
like I said, by far. I mean, you said Rafa, but
I said
listen,
Rafa
son,
only on the agenda that he is a Euro 2016 winner,
yeah,
and for the price you paid for a Euro 2016 winner was a very good price. And he's still young. He's got potential, and I can see him being a great player in the future.
Like I told you, the only reason I point out Grimaldo is that he's been the best in the immediate, what we've seen so far. The worst signing, and I'm not going to be happy with saying this, but I think I got to go with Celis, even though I like the kid. He just doesn't get any minutes, so I can't see him improving. I thought that he should have been loaned out to like Braga. He wasn't. It is what it is. Neil,
what's your worst one? Yeah.
No, I was gonna say for best signing, Grimaldo's a good shout, but I really like Cervi. Like I like the type of player he is. He reminds me of all the great Argentinian wingers we've had over the years. Gaitan,
don't tell that to my dad.
Okay.
Seriously, my dad doesn't rate Cervi, and it's pisses me off.
Yeah, he's so fast, and his footwork is incredible, and yeah, I like the guy. Worst signing, honestly, as of up until right now, yeah, in the future he's gonna do wonders for us, but up until this point, Rafa
you can't. How?
That assist he got against Sporting was crucial.
He freaking can't shoot with his left, man.
He was injured.
I'm not saying he's not going to be a good player, but up until now, he hasn't done much.
By
I know
the way,
he's been injured,
games,
but the games that he has played, he hasn't done much.
2 games, 2 assists, by the way. Point that out.
I'm sure you could probably guess who my worst Benfica player is for you, but it's Carrillo.
That's a good shout, but then again, why I didn't think of him is because I think that
he was free.
Yeah, and eventually, even if he doesn't succeed as a signing, he'll probably succeed as a sale. So
that is a good point. Okay, moving on to Sporting now.
Worst signings.
The worst signing, Castaños. There is no argument. He is the worst.
Best signing.
I was stuck with the best one because I was going to go with Bastos. I'm stuck between either Bastos or Zegler.
Yeah, fuck. I thought I was going to be like unique. But there you go. You screwed me over.
But if I had to choose, I'd choose Bastos just because of the goals he's got so far this season.
Okay, best signing, Marvin. Petrovic. Neil.
I would say your best signing is Bastos, and your worst signing, what's his name? Petrovic?
Yeah.
How have you both not said Castaños?
Federico Ruiz. There you go. That's your worst signing.
Who?
Alan Ruiz's brother, Federico Ruiz. And by the way, Neil, Listen to this.
What's up?
Sporting can't renew Alan Ruiz's contract without renewing his brother's contract as well.
Oh my god.
So is that like part of? Was that part of the
His
contract?
his dad doesn't let him renew contract if his brother doesn't resign as well.
What if the brother stinks?
He does. That's the point. That's why it's funny.
Like, way to drag down the team. Jesus.
Oh my god. I'm sorry. I just thought that was too funny because I saw that piece of news and I was just like, that was hilarious.
Okay, if we've done sporting, we can go on to Porto now.
Yeah.
I'll start off by saying, mate, I was really stuck between the best signing because they haven't had a really good one. But basing off of last season's form, signing Layun this season, in hindsight,
Layun
maybe
hasn't
not
played
the best.
though.
Yeah, but for signing him at the time, for me, after what he did last season, is probably their best signing.
Yeah, but then again,
2016.
he's asking you in hindsight at the end of the year who was the best signing, and he's definitely not the best signing.
Who is though? That's my problem.
Philippe, just go with Philippe.
True.
Okay, by the way, Kevin went with Philippe, I think. I don't know if he said, I think he replied to other ones as well, but I can't. There you go. For Benfica and Bas Dost for Sporting. Did you say worse?
Porto has a U.S. player, Palmer
Yeah,
Brown. He
they
hasn't
do.
played a game yet. That
Plays for
to
the
me,
B
that guy
team.
goes first.
Sam, did you say worst player?
For Porto,
No.
I put
Go.
De Poitre.
Yeah, obviously. Okay, the Poitre. Listen, Kevin, the Poitre, worst signing. Alex Taylor's best signing. There you go.
Alex, oh yeah, I forgot about him.
And I'm pointing that out because he outshined Layun. I don't care if you agree with it. I don't agree with it, but he's starting, and if he's starting over Layun, he's definitely doing something right to impress Nuno.
True.
Neil.
Best signing for Porto.
Yeah, not loans. No loans.
Is Andre Silva considered a best
No.
signing for Porto? Okay.
No, that's he was brought up.
What about this Otavino guy?
I kind of counted Otavio, but Kevin really didn't because he was already a Porto player. But then again, whenever you recall a player and he's successful, I could sort of count that. I kind of count it. Kevin doesn't.
Sorry, Kevin. We're going with that guy.
Otavio, worst signing.
We're signing. We'll say Palmer Brown, just because.
Palmer Brown's like 2015, bro.
Is he? Okay.
Just go to Poitre.
We'll say De Poitre. And Maxi Preda.
2015 signing as well, bro.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, Sergio meant like the civil year of 2016. That's why it was difficult. I was like, holy hell, who the hell am I going to pick? Kevin had a good shot though with Ande Horta, which I completely forgot about. Carl said that he agreed with you that Rafa is the worst signing so far, that he's not performing like a 50 million player. But then again, Brian straight away said delete your account. So I'm pretty sure that Brian agrees with me that Rafa's been performing. Oh, Jesus Christ. Like, why do you think Rafa's like not performing though? Because he's been giving out assists and he's been playing well.
Dude, that Sporting game, I swear he could have scored like 2 goals.
And he still played well.
And then I forget, there was a game, I don't know if it was a cup game or a Champions League game, where same thing. Like, he had opportunities, and it's almost like he wants to just score every goal. Like, he wants to make it fancy. Like, just if you have the opportunity, like the pet peeve of mine is like when these players have opportunity to score and they want to be fancy. Just freaking shoot the ball, and that's it. Get it over with.
Yeah, that's the issue with Portuguese players, though.
But like Rafa's gonna come around. It's just from what I've seen. Like, I know there's a talent there. It's just like I said, what I've seen up until now, he's frustrating to watch.
Okay. I got a couple of few other things that I just came out of the top of my head, Benfica related. Sam, if you have anything sporting related, please do point that out because, again, everything's come from the top of my head.
Okay.
There was an interview that I read yesterday, right? Yeah, yesterday, of Raul. He said that he's happy that he's contributing scoring, yada, yada, yada. But basically, the biggest thing that stood out, and I think everybody probably saw that, not you, Sam, but everybody Benfiquista saw, was that he said that the team really got behind themselves when Casillas said that Benfica does not have winning title winning DNA, basically championship DNA.
Mentality.
Yeah, there you go. Championship. They called it DNA in Portuguese, so that's why I translated it. But there you go, championship mentality or winning mentality. Does anybody want to comment on why players keep saying these things and just forces the other team to get even better?
So I don't understand. So Casillas said
Casillas
that,
before Benfica played Porto, I think,
yeah,
said that Benfica doesn't have a championship winning mentality or ADN campeão, basically. And Raul said that those words really got to the team and made them
yeah,
work even harder. And my question goes out to you guys:
yeah.
why keep doing this
So when did he say this? This season or last season?
this season?
This season. I don't know why Casillas is talking because Porto hasn't won anything in 3 years. Pretty soon it's going to be 4 years. So if he has nothing of relevance to say, he shouldn't say anything. But again, like what's interesting about this sport is the mind games and just how one team will try to get through the other team like psychologically or just underneath their skin with comments. Like last year, I remember when we first played Sporting and they beat us 3-0, and that was all JJ getting under the skin of Rui Vitória and throwing him off, and it worked. So if it's some sort of psychological tactic on Casillas, good for him, but I don't think it's gonna.
Yeah, we've seen it
hurt our
backfire more times than it succeeded. Sam.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say that it's trying to come across as mind games, try and throw them off even more. Some cases that will work, but most of the time I don't think it will. It just riles the other team up to be more competitive.
Yeah, it just makes them thrive harder, and we've seen with Pirlo, we've seen it with JJ. Even though he worked at first, then he completely backfired, and now Casillas. And I think players should need to shut the hell up, and we'll see who wins in the end. The other thing that I wanted to point was also Benfica related was Salvio. He said a couple of things, and one of them really stood out to me when he said that I could have gone to Monaco, but then I thought to myself, why am I going if I'm happy with Benfica? And here's my question to both of you guys is why don't players do that more often if they're not really going to a better team and they're already earning it because obviously they're not earning a lot, but they're earning quite well. Why make the move when you can just simply stay at a club that you like, a city that you like?
Footballers are greedy. I think that's literally the only reason. If there's always more money to be offered to them, they always take the deal, which is sad, but it's how football works now.
Yeah, no, I agree with Sam. It's no longer about the love of the jersey. It's the almighty dollar. Look at all those guys that left Benfica and went to Valencia, and Valencia is on the verge of relegation. Would they not have been better off just staying in Lisbon?
Definitely. That's why
treated like celebrities, like Enzo and Rodrigo. Those guys were worshipped here.
Yeah, that's why I'm praising the fact that Salvio took a step back, thought to himself, why am I going to Monaco, which really isn't a big upgrade? My family is happy in Lisbon. I'm happy in Lisbon. My son was born in Lisbon or whatever. I think his daughter at
Yeah, I
least
was gonna
was.
say his kids are probably Portuguese too.
Why would he leave? That's why I think that players need to do that as well, and not just in Benfica, but in Porto and Sporting. Sometimes, if you're not going to earn a lot more, there really isn't any need for you to move, basically.
Unless
And I
they
think
move
that
to a big team which they can win things with, like Barcelona, Real Madrid, I can see why they go to those clubs to win. But when they go to China, to Monaco, to America, or
Clearly
even
cash grab.
PSG, yeah, clearly just money.
yeah, I'm
And like,
just
I mean, that's
glad.
not everyone as well. Sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt you
no,
again.
it's
You've got
okay.
players like John Terry, Francesco Totti. There are some others which I probably can't name off the top of my head, but they all love their club very much and haven't left it since they
Buffon.
started playing.
Yeah, that's people, often say that players only say the right things because it is what it is. But I think Salvio is actually one of those that actually really likes the club, even though I haven't liked him this season. In person, he's a great guy, and he just another example for people to follow is that if you're happy where you are and you're not going to win much where you're going, just stay where you are and simply be happy. Play your own
It,
football and do what you love.
it's
I'm not
like
sure about you
Patricio.
guys.
Like
Oh, go on then. Sorry.
I was sorry, I was gonna say by the ongoing joke with me and the Three Tugers podcast is there's the one guy he's a Sporting fan,
Hmm.
and every week when he goes over the Sporting lineup, he introduces Patricio, the best goalie in Europe, and I always tell him, I'm like, Mike, like if Patricio was as good as you claimed him to be, wouldn't he have gone to a major club? And the reality is, like what we're saying right now, the guy truly loves being at Sporting. He's been at that team forever,
There hasn't been
and
a better offer.
there hasn't been a better offer. I think ultimately that guy wants to keep his career at Sporting.
No, I think he wants to stay until there's really a big chance of him, you know, experimenting like a Premier League or, winning titles because although Sporting aren't really very, a winning side all that much, they still pay him quite enough. He's
Yeah.
happy where he is. He's living in his hometown, basically. So he stays where he is until he finds really a big club for him. And we need more of those players. We need more of those
It's
players.
admirable, that's for sure.
And honestly, I don't care what club you play for. It could be Benfica, Porto. I
Mhm.
respect a player who's loyal. You say you love that club, and you say, if I want to return there, if you leave, obviously, if you leave to go to a better team to win, and they say I want to come back because I love it, I want to retire there one day. That's also fine with me because that's
David
also a sense of
Luiz.
loyalty.
David
David Luiz, you've
Luiz.
got Nani saying it back to Sporting. Ronaldo said it to Man United as well.
Yeah.
So,
So
and I think Fabio Comentrao also said it to
yeah.
about Benfica also. So I respect
Yes,
loyalty
indeed.
no matter what club you play for.
Yeah, no, it's something nice to see. And even Fernando came back today and said that he wouldn't mind going back to Porto as well. It's always nice to see these things, and I just wanted to point it out because I thought it was a good thing.
It's
Uh,
funny. It's funny all these players say that after they've made their millions.
no, but like it's true though. If David Luiz said it himself, if football
David
was
Luiz
about
is, yeah, he's been saying it
is
since he
is
left.
is the most genuine. Is probably the most genuine footballer there is, and he said it himself. If football wasn't about money, I would have stayed Benfica my whole career. He's
Yeah.
gonna retire at Benfica. The dude loves the club. Said it truthfully. Football is about money, and David Luiz is coming back to Benfica.
Maybe when Luis goes.
It doesn't matter. He'll come at one point.
Yeah.
Do
Do you want me to run down the scores of the B teams or?
I'll let you do that. Just give me
Okay.
two more
Right.
things. And
Yeah,
then
go ahead.
Nelson replied to Kyle saying that Rafa's been productive. The only ones that haven't been productive are Benfica's physio staff. There you go. That's a good shout. That is a good shout. Okay, Elizio the man. I love that app, mate. Elizio the man. Love it. He also said that to Kyle that you're obligated to your own opinion, but personally, I feel Rafa has been very productive in the handful of games he has played. There you go. I also agree with you, Eliseo, the man with the greatest stat in the world, and
Shame it's after a bad player though.
and I'm also going to follow you. You just gotta follow because of that, mate. Um, the other thing that I wanted to talk about was the incident with Talishka, and he also talked about it because he really went at the guy. And what he said was that I don't care if he scored 5, 6 goals against Benfica. He was with us 2 weeks ago. The way that he celebrated was disrespectful for the club and for us as well. How do you guys feel about that?
So is that about the goal in the Champions League?
Right.
Yeah.
In the 90th minute.
Yeah, and then he went off celebrating like crazy. Salvio said that he was with the club and with the teammates 2 weeks ago, and then he celebrates that way. He thought that it was very disrespectful for them and the club.
I agree, 100%.
Yeah.
Again, it goes back to loyalty. I remember the video footage of Rui Costa at Fiorentina when he scored
against
against
Benfica.
Benfica, and he started
cried.
crying. And he said it was the worst goal that he scored in his career because Benfica had no money and they had to sell him to Fiorentina, and he happened to score against his club, and he was crying. And then there's Talishka, who scores against Benfica in the 90th minute for Besiktas, and is celebrating.
Yes.
Fuck that guy. I hope he never comes back.
I hope so
I
too.
hope
I
he
just thought
starts
that
on the streets.
that Salvio had a very good point, and not just the club. You're practicing with your teammates like 2 weeks ago, and then you celebrate that way against your former teammates. I thought that was very cold, and that is a very good point by Salvio. Um, I think I'm done for topics. Benfica plays on Thursday against Paços Ferreira. Porto probably plays on Thursday. I got no idea when Porto's playing. And Sporting are playing on Friday to Varzim. Every single game is for the Taça da Liga. Let me just quickly check when Porto's playing so Kevin doesn't go like, oh, you don't even know when Porto's playing.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, there you go. Porto, sorry, just pointing out
No, go on.
Porto is playing Feirense at 7:15 local time, and then Benfica right after that, 9:15 play on Paços Ferreira, and then Sporting the day after, and also 9:15 they take on Varzim. All Taça da Liga games. Go on, Sam.
Okay, so the thing I was going to say is there's a rumour that João Palhinha is online at Belém currently, is rumoured to come back to Sporting and start training with the first team and perhaps getting into that first team.
He won't. He's Portuguese. He's got no chance.
With the team, with the way the team's going, I'd give it a chance.
I'll see if that happens. I doubt it. I mean, I see him coming back. I just see him being another Mané type of thing. By the way, that is great. I just thought of that. Neil, before you run out the scores like Kevin does. Sam, how did you feel when Mané said that JJ never spoke to him? How do you react to that?
Well, I feel bad for the guy because he's one of those players that he has said and come out that saying that he loves Sporting, whether that is just, because he was there and he's just saying the right thing. But I've always thought he was an okay player, didn't get a lot of game time. I think JJ should have said something like, we don't feel you're right now, we send you out on loan, blah, blah, blah. At least give him an explanation because he has been at the club a long time. And I think he deserves that. At least saying, oh, you're not ready yet, we want to loan you out, perhaps even sell you. Obviously, he's not giving the decision up to Mané if he wants to stay or leave. Because if the club doesn't want you, you're gone, pretty much. But at least give him the decency of a conversation.
Yeah, because first he blocks the move, and then he lets him go. And never even said a word to him.
Maybe it was, depending which way, JJ either blocked the move and BDC let him go, or BDC let them block the move and JJ let
Obviously, rumors say that the JJ accepted the deal and then blocked the deal. a couple of hours later, forcing him to stay until the end of the season. Either way, I think no matter the club, whenever the coach doesn't tell you anything, respectful to you because you are a servant of the club and you deserve to know what's going on with your, role at the club.
100% agree with you.
All
So
right.
Manet is on loan to
For,
Germany, or
for
2
2
years,
years
2 years
at
loan
Stuttgart.
plus option to buy.
that's so weird because he's one of those players. Like I remember like reading about him, and he seemed like he was going to be part of Sporting's future. And it's again like JJ's. He's weird like that. Like he, that's my biggest. That was my biggest thing with him at Benfica. Is I don't know how he is with the Sporting Academy, but I remember with Benfica, like he would very rarely like take a chance on the youth players, right?
Yeah, but you say that he's brought Gelson Martins into the side, who has arguably been our best player this season.
But Mane was like the hype kid, the same type of Gelson.
But Gelson isn't hype. He's proved that he can do it.
But Mane was the
Mane
same.
never did prove it. Mane never did prove it. Mane, in no disrespect to him, was a lot of hype. Whereas Gelson, he gets assists, he works hard, he's an engine.
Gelson proved it this year, not last season though. Even when he played last year, and he got.
That's because João Mario had his
No,
his
he
spot.
had no end product last year. I think that was all work this year. I'm sticking with that. Last year, Gelson Martins was useless for Sporting basically because he nutmegs Eliseu and then he couldn't cross the ball. No, it's down to JJ working on his end product. He helped him out a lot. But
but couldn't you argue that's because we sold João Mario? We needed someone to fill in that position.
No, I argued that was worked during the season. In case that happened, that they had somebody to step up.
Fair enough.
But again, I just want to point out that I do agree with Neil is that he was hyped and that he should have been given a chance, a proper chance, maybe like half a season to start. Which
I'm pretty sure he got called up to the Portuguese national team a few times too.
Yeah, I think so too. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Neil, if you want to run up to the scores like Kevin does, you feel free to do that if you want.
There's like a bunch of games. I'm not gonna go through every score, but basically, on Friday, Academica hosts Sporting. Sporting's B team. On Sunday, Benfica's B team hosts Vitória Guimarães B team, and that's next week. And then
just point out Santa Clara because of Kevin.
Santa Clara, very important match. They're away to Portimonense on.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's next week because they just won against Ordinance on Wednesday. In the standings, Portimonense only one loss this season. They're with 49 points in first place. Abj is second place with 45 points. They also have only one loss. And Santa Clara is third place with 35 points. Benfica's B team is sixth place with 28 points. Sporting's B team is 13th with 25 points. And Porto's B team is 15th with 24 points. And the two bottom teams are Ordinance.
Yeah, point out the bottom four.
The bottom four, okay.
Get relegated.
Ordinance with 13 points, they're 22nd. Leixões, 17 points, they're 21st. Fremont, 18 points at 20th. And Académico de Viseu, 19th place with 19 points.
There you go. I think those are the teams that get relegated. I think 4 teams get relegated. You want to run up through? You want to point out the standings of the first division if you want?
Yeah, I could do that.
You can do that. Kevin's gonna be upset because they already got a replacement. Kevin's like, "Oh shit, not needed anymore."
No, we need a Portista on.
Yeah, no, I'm just
and
kidding.
one who's not a dick like Kevin. So
No,
they're a rare
Kevin's not a.
commodity to
Yeah,
find.
Kevin's
yeah,
a
they are.
nice guy. Come
Kevin
on
is a
now.
nice guy.
He's a great guy.
That's what I'm saying. We
He's
we
not.
need
It's not like.
one who's not a dick.
It's not like Simon. Simon, you really pissed me off on Twitter, bro.
I
Jesus.
don't know. I don't know who Simon is.
Well, 5 teams get relegated. I thought there were only 4 teams. Sorry, Kevin.
It's 14.
ITK. Kevin's, I think, he's like in the know, on the spot, right there. Just correcting me.
In the Liga, Benfica is in first place with 98 points. Porto is in
What?
second.
Did you just say
Oh, 38
98
points.
points?
Sorry. Porto is in second place with 34 points. Both teams have only conceded one loss this season. Braga is in third place with 32 points. Sporting and Guimarães are tied for fourth with 30 points. And then we have Rio Ave in sixth place, Chaves in seventh, Marítimo in eighth, Setúbal in ninth, Boa Vista, Belenenses, and Aroca are tied with 17 points. Passos Ferreira 16 points. They're in 13th spot. Estoril has 15 points. Feirense 14 points. Nacional and Moreirense are tied with 11 points. And then Tondela is at the bottom of the table with 10 points.
All right, there we go. I think we rounded up through everything. Unless you guys want to say anything else regarding subjects.
Not that I can think of.
Yeah, nothing really. We'll be back next week. Normal people, I believe. Everything should be back to normal. Kevin, I hope you had a great Christmas. I know that's why you aren't able to be here because with your family. Brian, I hope that you had a great Christmas. I know that you have the day with your girlfriend. I hope everything's going well. I hope that you managed to listen to this when you get the time to. And Neil, you popped up messaging me, and I was like, "Holy hell!" I'm replying you tomorrow because I was like, "Holy." You said I can be on. I can be on tomorrow if you need me to. Well, you came on. You helped out. It was a little bit of a sporting and Benfica heavy podcast, but then again, there wasn't really much to talk about. There was only one game to review, so and this was all unscripted. So we just ran out through everything that we thought was interesting to talk about. I thank you for coming again, and hope to have you on. Later on as a guest, obviously.
Yeah, thanks
I
for
agree
having
as
me
well.
on, guys.
And Sam says, I agree. There you go. Good, Sam.
Also
All
to
right.
Kevin and Brian, I hope they also had a good Christmas with their families also. And to you guys, I hope you had a good Christmas also.
Obviously,
Likewise.
mine wasn't all that great, but it is what it
Yeah.
is. All right. Thank you, Neil. Thank you, Sam. Taking your time to do the podcast. We'll be back next week. We'll be reviewing the Taça, the Liga games, and we're gonna talk Campeonato. Obviously, everything should be back to normal. See you next week.
Ciao.